Three. It's recording time. Hello, recorders. I'm reporting to you live from Anime Las Vegas, and I got an amazing treat with you. I am here with Zeno Robinson. You know him from so many projects. Like, man, you've just been killing the game over the last 5 years. Like, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing more phenomenal. But hey, I gotta ask you about like really early on in your career. Like, you actually got to work on Ben 10, like a very iconic show. Like, how's it felt like working alongside like legendary voice actors and Andrea Romano?
I was a kid at the time, so I didn't really know much about like what was legendary and what wasn't. I mostly was geeking out because I was watching Naruto at the time, and Yuri Lowenthal, who plays Ben, he told me at my session that he was Sasuke, so I like kind of nerded out, and I was freaking out, and like I loved Static as a kid, and Kevin Michael Richardson, he played Sheriff Mason in that episode, and like I was just geeking out about all the other things that these people like were in that I had loved and that I was into. So, but I didn't know that it was like this legendary show because I didn't have cable at the time until later when I was like, oh wow, this is a huge show. So I think mostly I was just geeking out as a kid. And Andrea Romano was great. She's a really great director. She really made the session very easy for me and like helped ease me into like the art and the world of voice acting. So it was really cool.
And also about learning about the craft of voice acting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't like you learn voice acting from Ben Diskin?
I did, well, yes and no. So I was taking classes from someone named his name, Tony Gonzalez. He was my voice acting teacher, and Tony Gonzalez knows Ben Diskin, and he brought Ben Diskin into one of our classes to speak to us. And so Ben, then he came in and he like had all these pictures of characters he played, and he signed them. So and then I went home and I hung them on my door at my house, and they're still there. So yeah.
It's like, man, that's very inspiring. It's very inspiring, and especially it led to a full circle moment of you two working on Digimon. Can you talk about the audition process about becoming Thai?
Yeah, so of course Digimon's always recorded at a studio named Studiopolis. They've done every Digimon so far, and I remember getting an audition, and all of it was code named, but it felt like Digimon, and I was like, is this Digimon? Like, what's going on? And I was like really confused about what was happening. And so I remember being like, okay, well maybe it's this new one that came out that they did that, and I think like other actors are kind of talking like, I think this might be Digimon, I think this might be Digimon. And so my voice was actually shot from a recording session, so I asked for an extension so my voice could be recovered in order to do the audition to the best of my capabilities. So I turned it in at like the last second that I could turn it in. And I didn't think I was going to get it because I thought my voice wasn't up to par at that time. And yeah, and then I heard back that I had booked and that it was Thai. I was so surprised. I didn't think I was going to book it at all. And I thought they were just going to give it to the OG cast. But they said that Thai was wild to me. So I was very shocked and very grateful. And also I was like wondering what was going on. Like, yeah.
It's like, hey, I've been watching the show. You killed the game, and I can't wait to see what more you do for Digimon. And also, like, you actually were announced as the cast for Ultraman. What's it like, doing that kind of live-action dubbing? Like, did you look at maybe old Godzilla movies or anything for a reference to work on the show?
No, I've done live action dubbing before. It was actually some of my earliest dubbing work. I worked on a show called 3% for Netflix with Dubbing Brothers. So I was very familiar, and I've done a lot of live action dubbing up to this point before Ultraman. So there was not a lot of research I had to do. I felt like I wanted to approach it the same as you would anime, but it's a little more nuanced because the mouth movements are so specific and different. So sometimes we try to change lines so it can match it a little closer. The goal is you want to be able to fool people into thinking that we're actually saying what we're saying. So yeah, but I didn't have to prepare at least by watching old like tokusatsu, like old Japanese media that's dubbed. I just kind of approached it like a live action show.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And also, too, like, we recently hit the end of the Outhouse. What was it like being a part of a show that ended up, like, bringing so much LGBT representation? It was just, amazing. I cried at the end, man.
Oh yeah, a lot of people said they cried at the end. It's so cool. I'm very honored to have been part of such a legendary show that was able to reach so many people and speak for people who have felt unheard or unspoken for, unseen or unrepresented. The representation in the Outhouse is incredible and just a testament to how incredible the show is. And so I'm just honored to have been a small part of that. And anytime anybody from the community says that they they relate to Hunter or they look to Hunter, that's like what it's about. And so I'm very grateful for that and that opportunity.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I can't wait to see what you do next. And on a final note, my final question is now, you've been talking about this on Twitter. What is it about Shark Tale that you love so much about that movie? Like, I love it too.
It's a great movie. It is one, in my opinion, an early black film. It is definitely a hood classic. I think the music, the humor, the characters are all really fun, and I think it was something that it went over a lot of people's heads. And now and because since I've started the conversation, I've seen more and more people say that they like Shark Tale and how it's a great movie. And so, like, I personally think that it's like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, all jokes aside, I think it's an incredible film that deserved way more accolades, and than what it got. A lot of metaphors for like black stories, also some kind of LGBTQ metaphors in there. You know, it's great. I love Shark Tale.
Yeah, me too. I mean, even I could tell as a kid that movie was ahead of our time. Anyway, on a final note, like, I know you can't talk about it, but any new few projects you like to tease? Anything you're allowed to say?
Probably nothing I'm allowed to say, but I will. You know, Horty Mia got announced for another season, so hopefully if that gets a dub, I'll be back on that. Ray Zero got announced for another season, so hopefully if that gets a dub, I'll be back on that. And I think that's kind of it. Street Fighter 6 is coming out. I play DJ in the game, so that'll be cool. And I think that's all I can talk about. Yeah.
But either way, as soon as they're allowed to be announced, we'll be cheering you on for the rest of your career. Thank you so much for your time, Zeno. And thank you so much for tuning in. Recorders, please hit that subscribe button, comment down below, give us a like, and catch you next time.